Hey Aries, happy October 2017. I hope you're doing fantastic. This is Dark Dove Tarot. Again, this is for Aries, October 2017. As you know, I pre-shuffle, but I'm going to add a little more energy before we get started. This is for singles, anybody looking to reconcile, but generally focused on singles. Those tend to be the people who reach out to me with questions, comment, and are looking for private reads, etc. So I want to make sure I, take care of the audience who seems to be watching. This is general, so check your sun, moon, and rising. Sometimes those are going to resonate with you some months more than others. I have decided that I'm going to do an open spread this month because I've been learning a lot about vibrations, taking some seminars, and I want to kind of look at the cards as a whole and see what patterns we pick up on in doing it that way. So I hope that's agreeable for you. If it's not and it's something you don't like, please feel free to message me, let me know, comment. I'm always curious what is interesting to you, what helps you the most, what makes you think the most, etc. So again, this is for Aries, October 2017. General, check your sun, moon, and rising. If you want more clarity, you can always get a private read. Any likes, subscribes, and like I said, comments are appreciated. So let's get started. Again, doing an open spread this month. If you don't like it, let me know, but I thought it would be useful to kind of look at more of the patterns and signs, things I've talked about to you guys as well, as far as, noticing those types of things when maybe the universe has a message that it's really trying to get across. Okay, so I'm going to move pretty fast because I don't like to take up too much of your time. That's one of the reasons I don't shuffle on screen as well. So getting started. Oh, you know what? I want to pull your theme of the month card too. I'm using the deck I normally do because it's October, and the deck I normally use, the Raven's Prophecy, is orange and black. So that looks pretty Halloween-y. So I figured that would be a good thing. All right, so you have the 6 of Pentacles or coins for your overall theme for the month, which actually is a really good theme because this is about feeling, this is about being generous and feeling content. So this tells me that right off the back, Aries, even if things don't go exactly how you want this month, or there are ups and downs, you're going to feel some sort of contentedness, some sort of almost even charitable. So maybe you'll be volunteering or doing something like that as well. So coming into the month, you have the 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands is about taking it easy. It's about things kind of being stable and resting and being kind of in a happy place. So if you're dating, immediately this makes me feel like you have met somebody or met 1 or 2 people that you think could take you out of dating, out of, off the websites and out of meetup groups, because this speaks of first completion. So it's very calm, right? And looking at the king who's calm as well is very interesting because they pair really well. So the 4 of Wands is saying you feel like you've completed something. So I feel like you've gotten over the first hump of dating. Now, it may not be true immediately. It may be that you find that, in the next week or 2. So I'm not saying that the minute you step into October that you're going to have had this. This is something that you're coming into the month with that mindset and then putting that into play to get that, right? So your current position is saying, you're going to get past the plethora of suitors, so to speak. You're going to get past dating. It feels like you have been dating quite a bit and it's been a numbers game, which it is for almost everybody. That's the way you have to do it nowadays. And this is saying, hey, there's 1 or 2 people that you're seeing that could be very capable partners for you. People that you could imagine spending a lot of time with and, building a future with. Again, it feels like it hasn't gotten there yet, but that's the direction it's moving. And so you're feeling happy for the first time in dating. It feels like some of you, for the first time in a long time, are feeling happy that there's like hope and you're meeting people who are actually stable enough to fulfill some sort of relationship or moving into that direction. Again, you're not completely out of the dating field or dating realm, but you're moving in a much better direction. And if you're looking to reconcile, I think that either you're in contact with that person, they've been in contact with you, and that was the first step. So that was your first completion of the Four of Wands. That was you, either you reached out to them or they reached out to you, and there is still a connection here, and maybe you both still want something together, and that's making you happy. As I said to the singles, you know, this may not have happened right this second, because today is October 1st when I'm filming this. I probably won't even get it posted until the 2nd or 3rd, but this is what is on the horizon coming into October. It could be a week or two into October, but so if they haven't contacted you, don't be like, Dark Dove, it hasn't happened. It takes time, and this is general. So whether it happened last week or whether it happens in a week, that's, you know, that's up in the air still. But I do feel like if there has been a connection, it's going to be positive. The next card you have is the King of Cups. And this is internal. This is any challenges or anything that helps or hinders the Four of Wands. And like I said, right off the bat, when I saw the King was next to the Four, the King is somebody who's calm. They're listening. They're paying attention. So if you're single, you are doing this. You are, sometimes this can be manipulation, but Aries, I feel like this is manipulation in a positive way. Like, you have manipulated the dating game to finally score, if that makes sense. It's not a negative manipulation. This is something that you have put energy into, and you have been through chaotic times, and you have been through, you know, different things that have made it feel like have almost made it feel like you're never going to come to this moment, and now you're at that moment. This is somebody who's paying attention. So you're finally listening to like the clues that you're getting from people you're dating. You've weeded through a lot of BS, which I say to every sign, because I know I've been there personally. So I know what it's like to go through online dating, and it's, you know, it's very different than 10, 15 years ago. But you have, right now, you just kind of have this charisma of, I'm here, I'm not rushing anything. I finally met one or two people that might be somebody I could connect with, and so I am just hanging out, cool as a cucumber. I'm excited, but I feel like the chaos and the stuff I've been through in the dating world are calm right now. I don't have to deal with that. And some of you may even be to the point where you're not even checking online, because you're like, you know what, I've got one or two people, maybe even three, that I'm interested in, that seem to be interested in me. Therefore, I do not need to be putting myself through the whirlwind of insanity right now. If you're looking to reconcile, it's very similar. You're listening. Now, this does forego a red flag, but a very small red flag, because it does talk about manipulation. So when you have this communication with your ex, whether they contact you or you contact them, or if you're in communication now, be very careful, because this is you feeling calm about it and feeling collected and not feeling like you need to rush into the pointing fingers or figuring everything out right now. It's kind of like this feeling of satisfaction that there's been some sort of contact, and it seems to be positive. Just be careful, because the King warns of manipulation. For singles, it's a different manipulation. For you looking to reconcile, you need to pay attention to what is being said to you. You need to hear, because I feel like for some of you, you're feeling very happy and you're feeling like, okay, we've communicated, but there may be something that you're missing that you need to pay attention to. The next card you have is your distant past. So over the past, you know, few years, could be 10 years, could be childhood, and you have the Knight of Wands. Or sorry, the Knight of Swords. Yeah, the Knight of Swords, I don't know why. I guess I'm just, yeah. Maybe there's some Knight of Wands energy in here, I'm not sure. But the Knight of Swords is somebody who had to be hostile and direct and confrontational. And so I feel like, Aries, that you've had to be that way with past relationships, or they've been that way with you. And you're approaching dating and meeting new people with like a security and a calmness that you didn't have before. I feel like some of you had relationships in the past where it was about not knowing the truth, or, you know, you always having to feel like you were, you know, confrontational because they were hiding secrets. And so you always felt like you were wielding the sword and you were, you know, cutting deep and you were, you know, being direct, and they were just kind of always like beating around the bush, and you just got tired of it. And I think that the dating has kind of pushed you, whether you're single or looking to reconcile. I usually read this together because this is distant. Generally, it's not the person you're looking to reconcile with, although it can be. But this is somebody that you really had to, you were always like heightened, on alert, anxious, because you never knew if they were telling you the truth or they were showing you their true colors. And then you always felt like you were the one picking, like you were always nagging, or you were the one bugging them, or they always made you feel like, you know, I'm telling you the truth, but you knew there was something you knew. Like crazy stuff pops into my head right now, like lipstick on collars and smells of perfume and just a lot, like bills that don't make sense or receipts found, something like that. And so you always felt like, hey, I'm being direct with you, but you knew what was going on logically, and you still didn't like see the signs. And so I think for Aries, dating has been difficult, and even the thought of reconciliation has been difficult, because you kind of go into, well, for dating, it's been like panic mode, right? It's been like, not even panic, it's been like chaos. And so you're kind of like, like, I don't want to miss out on somebody who could behave in the same way as this person from the past. And if you're looking to reconcile, it's very similar. It's kind of like, okay, I really love this person, and maybe they're telling me everything's going to be okay, and maybe they really want to reconcile, but I kind of feel like, am I missing something? Which, with the king, like I said, you need to pay attention. You need to make sure that you are looking out for the signs. But like I said, the 6 of coins for both of you is saying that you're going to be generous with your heart. So if you're single, you're going to feel like being romantic. You're going to feel like allowing that heart energy to come in. And if you're looking to reconcile, you're going to be almost like that movie. What was that movie? Jerry Maguire, when she's like, you had me at hello. And I kind of feel like some of you Aries may be thinking that, like, hey, you know, we are going to connect and start communicating because you had, you know, the cojones to come and contact me. So the next card you have is your recent past. So over the past few weeks, past month or two, and you have the sun, and the sun is a beautiful card. So this is all about hope and inspiration. This is about seeing things clearly. So if you're single, you've had hope, even through all the mud that you've gone through, dating wise, all of the things that you've had to think about or worry about, or even having this concern that you're going to pick somebody who just isn't honest with you, or just somebody that you saw things clearly and yet you made illogical decisions with. You don't want to be in that place again, which is super important that you don't get there. And the sun is saying, you've got this. There's inspiration here. So the past few weeks, I feel like you've taken the dating to a different level. You have yielded this sword from the past and cut out what you absolutely knew for sure. And you aren't letting anybody BS you. You just aren't. You're like, no, you know what? It doesn't feel right. I'm trusting my gut. I'm trusting my instinct. I'm trusting everything on this one. And it's like you see everything clear as day. There's no moon to kind of confuse you. You know, there's nothing, there's no darkness here. You can see things for what they are, and you're also self-aware. So you're understanding more about how you're behaving in meeting people, and how what you put out into the universe is what you get back. And I think you've been very clear on that, Aries, which is a really good place to be in the past few weeks. Now, if you are looking to reconcile, I feel like you've already gotten communication. So either you've gotten communication, you've gotten a text, you've gotten an email. You know, I don't know that it's somebody showing up at your door with flowers, although I'm sure somebody's going to tell me, yes, it was that, dark dove, it was exactly that. But I feel like you've had communication. So even though in the beginning of the month, I wasn't sure if they came in having communication, but the sun kind of says that there is some sort of communication. Now, this could also be maybe they popped up like on Facebook again, or Instagram again. Maybe they've been kind of hiding out, or maybe you had heard that they were starting to see somebody, or they're going to start dating, and like you find out through the grapevine that's not happening at all. So there's some sort of hope here, something that you're seeing as well that is making you realize, like, you know, this could happen again. You're also all very self-aware too. If you're looking to reconcile, you're understanding what part you played in the breakup, as well as you don't want to bash them for what they played, because you realize now it was a two-part story, right? It takes two to tango, whatever other cliche thing I could say. And you realize that you were at fault as much as they were, and you're not in the game right now pointing fingers. You just kind of want a happy ending. The next card you have is your distant future. So over the next few months through the end of the year, and you have the Three of Coins. And the Three of Coins is a very good card, because this, if you're single, is about satisfaction. It's about accomplishing something. So that comes back to the Four of Wands and the completion, because the three is saying, you know, okay, like, we're going to work at this together. This is about teamwork. This is about making things happen. So I really do feel like if you have not met them, you're going to meet one or two people. You're going to kind of narrow it down to people that you think you could really see a future with. And this is even, you know, making plans about like combining a family, or maybe you're at this step now where you're going to introduce this person to your kids, or they're going to introduce you to their kids or their pets or family or friends. Something about this is you working as a team. But again, this is over the next 2 months. So this isn't by the end of October. So it could be that you're getting along really well now, and then maybe there's going to be like a family Christmas party you're going to invite them to, or they you. So there's definitely a strong connection here. It's going to come with time. It's not going to be meeting your soulmate or your twin flame and, you know, getting married by the end of October. Maybe for one or two of you it is, but realistically, Aries, I think that you're moving in like this steps and directions that are necessary to have a good, healthy relationship. If you're looking to reconcile, this definitely says, and you're one of the only signs that has had really positive reconciliation energy, and this definitely says that if you work as a team, if you communicate, if you don't do the finger pointing, if you don't do the picking at each other, if you don't do the blame game, you're going to get somewhere there, because this is also about accomplishing something, but doing it with somebody else, doing it as a team. So if you communicate, if you both, you know, hold your end of the burden of what happened, what broke the relationship up, then there's a very big possibility over the next few months that you could get back together, and it would be a happy reconciliation. The next card you have is your immediate future, which the Nine of Swords is definitely a scary card, okay? Because this is about fear and introversion. But this immediately tells me, if you're single and you are dating and you are meeting one or two people, I think this is your fear of the person or one or two people that maybe you're approaching that subject of like, let's hang out, or let's get to know each other better, or let's, you know, let's intertwine a little more, and you're not quite sure how they're going to feel about it. Or maybe you know that they're like dating one or two other people, and so you're hoping that they're going to pick you, but you're feeling very anxious about it. So the next week or two, you may be having some high anxiety or some high fears or introversion, where you feel like kind of going back in and like into yourself, and not putting on the emotional happiness, or not being calm and collected about it. There may be something this month that triggers you to feel like, oh, they're not as serious as I thought they were. But I think that's going to be downplayed, especially with what you've got coming and what your distant future holds. So the Nine of Swords definitely says that there's going to be something that may trip you up and may put you back into this like anxiety, or take you back a step. But I think it's going to be all how you handle it and where you're going. It may also be that you get nervous. Maybe you're going to say to them, hey, I like you. Or maybe they say something drastic to you, like, hey, okay, I just want to be with you, and that means we're changing Facebook statuses, or whatever the thing is now, and you're going to go, whoa, okay, I wanted to be with you, I want that connection, but this is a little quicker, or this is, whoa, this is a little more serious than I wanted. But it's kind of like, all right, Aries, you asked for it, so, you know, if you're feeling nervous about it, it's okay. That's a normal reaction in some of the situations. If you're looking to reconcile, you're kind of in step with the singletons, because, or the people dating, because this is also like, there might be something triggered by your ex, or maybe you contact them and they don't say anything for like a week, and you're going, no, this isn't good. But I think you may find out that it comes down to like, hey, I didn't get your message, or you guys aren't Facebook friends and you messaged them on Facebook. And I don't know why Facebook keeps coming up, because it may have nothing to do with that, but for some reason it keeps coming up. Like maybe you message them on Facebook, and because you're not friends anymore, they have to go into like the request message or something, and they don't get it. Or maybe you've texted them and they're going to be like, hey, or you may have to reach out a second time, or they may reach out to you and you're going to feel anxious. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Or they may want to jump the gun. It may be that you guys separated because you were on one path and they were on another path, which kind of ties into the Chariot here, but we'll get to that in a minute. And so maybe they wanted to get married, or you wanted to get married and they were like, and they weren't ready, and they're going to show up with like a ring, or they're going to immediately jump into, hey, let's get married, or let's move in together, and you're going to be like, whoa, 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 you know, or things are going to surface that you have to get over, that you have to talk about, that were kind of the root of the problem. So whatever this fear is of the Nine of Swords, like I say, anytime I pull the 9 or 10 of Swords, Aries, don't let that ugly hand crush you, because you've got this. The next card you have is any future external factors, so anything tangible throughout the month of October that may surface, and you have the 10 of Wands. So this is all about responsibility, taking care of things. If you're single, this is you feeling good about the possibilities of the people that you could build on with, but you're also making sure that it doesn't take precedence over your life, because the 10 of Wands is saying, look, you know, this is also completion. So again, you have these completion cards, which is very interesting, because like I said, you're completing something, and the 10 of Wands can also be that burden of dating, and now you're going to the next step of, I'm only going to talk to you, or only going to date you. But there's other responsibilities you have. You might have kids, you have work, you have different things. And so the 10 is saying that throughout the month of October, as happy as you're going to be, or what you're looking forward to is great. You're going to feel great about it, but you also have other things to take care of. And so you have chosen not to let the chaos of the dating world, or the chaos of, you know, the matters of the heart completely control or conflict what you have going on. Because this definitely says you know, you are taking care of business in all aspects, and that's super important. It's good to enjoy it, but, you know, it's good to have balance too. If you're looking to reconcile, you also have responsibilities, but this tells me that some of you have kind of maybe lost a little, like, you know, going to work has been a little harder, or not that you're not going to work, but like you felt lackadaisical about it, or you haven't felt like, you know, doing a deep clean, or doing the laundry, or washing the sheets, or whatever. And not in a bad way, just that you've really missed this person, and there was a deep connection here. So you're trying to put your head back into work, back into the game of everything, that maybe you've kind of let the matters of heart take over. But I think that's going to be positive for you, because maybe you've concentrated on this person and whether they're even interested, and you're going to get some sort of sign that, yes, you're good to go. You have the green light. They're either to communicate with you, you're going to communicate with them. It's going to be successful. And now you're going to kind of feel like you can breathe, like you can relax, that yes, it's not over forever, and yes, it's not doomed. The next card you have is the Queen of Swords, and this is internal throughout the month of October. So again, this external and internal energy for the month of October is going to be beginning, middle, end. It could be only at the end, it could be in the middle, etc. But the Queen of Swords is somebody who is very insightful, and you have a lot of insightful cards. It's kind of like the Sun and being self-aware. So if you're single, this is you understanding what direction you want to go with this person or few people that you're going to want to kind of get off the dating sites for, or the meetup groups, or whatever you're doing. This is somebody who's seeing things clear, and again, so is the Sun. So you have a clear picture. So I think that you need to be careful of this doubt or worry or fear that it's not what you think it is, because you're a lot more insightful than you're giving yourself credit for. And I think this is you possibly being overly critical throughout the month, which is going to lead to this. So Aries, and Aries, you can be very overly critical, but mainly of yourselves. And that's something that you have to watch. So the Queen of Swords saying, you know, okay, you know, am I going to run into this energy, or am I going to, you know, what's going to happen? And so, like I said, you're going to feel this anxiety or introversion or this fear, you know, this month, but it may be because it's inside you. It may more be because, you know, being this calm person, this person listening, paying attention, being aware, and seeing things clearly, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to have fears that bubble up, or that you're not going to think that maybe you're reading into something that's not there. So just try not to do that to yourself this month. If you're looking to reconcile, it's very similar. Like I said, anybody who's single and anybody who's looking to reconcile, you're kind of on a similar path, because the Queen, same way. But this is more, don't get back into like the finger pointing or the critical, because at some point when you guys separated, it was about, you did this to me, well, you did this to me, and you just have to now agree to disagree. And this is also honest. Like, if they want to know something, you need to be completely honest with them. If you want to know something, they need to bring honesty to the forefront, because the Queen is saying, look, we have this beautiful future we could have together. We have these, we know that we're good. We know that we're connected. We know that we could be very positive for each other and have a good, fulfilling life. But we've got to be honest with each other. We both have to be on the same page. We both have to know what we want. And we both have to pay attention to it without pointing the finger or get back into the blame game. The last two cards you have are your hopes and fears for the outcome of the month. And you have the Six of Wands and your actual outcome, which is the Chariot. And the Chariot is a great outcome, but I'll get to that in a minute. The Six of Wands is also a very good outcome. And you have here the Six of Pentacles, which is somebody who's generous. I think that 6 is maybe a theme for you, so maybe 6 days, 6 weeks, because for some reason I thought for a minute that we had 2 Six of Wands or 2 Six of Coins. So 6s are jumping out. The Six of Wands is about victory. So if you are single, again, this is about you are going to be proud. This is you saying, hey, look at world, look at universe. I narrowed it down to 1. I narrowed it down to 2. You are going to feel happy, accomplished, like you are getting somewhere. You are going to feel like, hey, I can do this. Look, after all this time, after all the chaos, after all the stress, here we are. Here it is. Isn't he or she lovely? Voila, I'm happy. So that's very positive. And this is your hope for the month. And you're going to move into the direction of planning and teamwork and accomplishing even more. And if you're looking to reconcile, this is getting over the hump of, hey, we can do it. If we put our minds together, if we're both on the same page, we can do it. And that makes me want to immediately move into here if you're looking to reconcile, because the Chariot is about duality. It's about understanding the balance and being able to be yourself and having your own identity, but also having a person that you're with, that you're dual with, if that makes sense. Because I always talk about the Chariot in the fashion of, if you're both moving in the same direction, the Chariot's moving smooth and the ride is great. If you're moving in one direction, they're moving in the other direction, the Chariot stands still or moves very slowly or tips over. And this says if you're looking to reconcile, you're going to be moving in a very congruent direction. You're going to find out who you are and what you want, and you're going to know what they want too, and you guys are going to figure out how to balance it out. And it's going to be really nice. It also could be a Cancer, because the Chariot card is a Cancer card, although you have wands and swords and coins and so cups, so it could be pretty much any sign at this point. But the Chariot card does go directly with Cancer, so maybe you're dealing with Cancer, and actually Cancer and Aries are a very good pairing. If you're single, this could also be that you are heading in a Chariot with a Cancer. But if you're single, this definitely says that whoever this person you met, or 1 or 2 people that you met, you're going to narrow it down to one person. And even though you're going to have 2 identities and you're going to be very different in some aspects and very similar in some aspects, you're going to be moving down the lane in the same direction. And that's all you wanted. I feel like Aries is kind of going, okay, well, you know, thank goodness, because all I wanted was somebody to do this with, or somebody who wanted to build a home with, or join a family with, or take vacations with. And so Aries, I think it's going to be very positive. But let's see, I'm going to clarify the outcome and clarify the distant future really quick. So let's see. Whoa, that one's popping out. That one's popping out. All right, so your outcome of the month, I'm going to clarify that. You have the 10 of Cups and your distant future. So this is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So the 10 of Cups here, again, could be a water sign because you're getting another cup card. And you have Cancer here. So it could be Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. But the 10 of Cups is about joy, peace, family. So it goes very well with the Chariot. It's like I said, you're wanting to move in one direction, and this person or the 2 or 3 people you're narrowing it down to, and then eventually to one, they are going in the same direction. So if you want family, if you want to never have family other than like your immediate family, if you want, you know, to only have pets, if you want to buy a private island, boy, you guys are on the same boat. This person's going to be like, they're already moving in that direction, you are too. And because both of you are moving in that direction together, it's going to take off full steam. If you're looking to reconcile, I think that's what it's going to come down for you as well. I think if you're looking to reconcile, there were certain things that you were moving in one path, they were moving in one path, or you both knew that you wanted to move in together, right? But then you decided that, like, one of you kind of backed out, or one of you said, well, let's wait another year. And that threw you off course. And now you're going to be back on course and heading in the same direction of what you both wanted. It feels like you just kind of got knocked off kilter, and now you guys are going to be able to resolve it, because you have the Ace of Cups here, which again is water, and it's crowning the King, or the Three of Coins, sorry. And the Ace of Cups is love, friendship, excitement, beginnings, all new opportunities, and it's love, love, love. The Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups, the Lovers, those are all about love. And the Ace is literally one of the textbook definitions in tarot is love. So whether you're looking to reconcile or whether you are single and dating and meeting people, that is what your future holds. Now, again, over the next few months, I don't think, Aries, you're going to meet this person tomorrow. I think that you may have met them, but you're not going to move into that tomorrow. You're going to take it slow, be conscientious about it. Hell, you're just celebrating because you may not have to deal with the dating game in the next 3 or 4 weeks. Some of you completely cut it off, and some of you still have your profiles up or still going to the groups, but it's going to come very conclusive here soon that this person and you want to focus on this person and you. And if you're looking to reconcile, it feels like that kind of love is going to conquer all, which, Aries, you are one of the only signs this month that has had a really positive reconciliation look. So anyways, I hope everybody has a great October. I'll talk to you soon.